All right, so we're done with Project Zero in class. So for you wondering what that means, Project Zero is sort of a intro to contributing to HAX, while at the same time ticking the boxes on something that we need made in the project so you can learn more about how to do modern web development. So for this project, we want to be able to make something like this that shows the contributors to a project in any GitHub ecosystem. All right, so there's this cool API that GitHub provides, and this will just tell you, hey, based on this repo and org, who's contributed. So several really good solutions. Saw this one, and let's jump to what that looks like. So this is the basis, right? Point to a Git repo, and then if we look, there's a GitHub RPG contributors tag. It has an organization and a repo, and then a limit. So if I set the limit to like 6, then it would slice the query, so it only shows me the top 6 contributors in this case. And it doesn't have anything to do with HAX. You can point to anything. So it's good exercise repurposing web components that have already been made in the RPG character, deploying to Vercel, and also then working with fetch. So now let's go from code in a repo, in this case, in Tushar 1906 version. And let's see what that would look like in the context of the full HAX the Web project. So in doing some review, we already have something called GitHub Preview. And so if I was to open the code for GitHub Preview, what GitHub Preview is it's basically looking at when this is visible on the screen, which is what this does. It takes an org and a repo into account. It's got a lot more flexibility. And then it effectively queries the API and then shows content that came back from GitHub as far as like a little preview. So if we do start, and this is an older tooling that I have in our project. So it looks like this. We've got GitHub Preview, and it just shows you a little preview based on putting in those values, right? And it has the ability to do an extended preview as well, right? So you can do extended, and then it shows you the whole little thing. It's pretty neat. This was a past project that was worked on in class. So this, to me, is the logical place to add this code and to wire it up for testing. So I'm going to make a new file. We're going to call it GitHub, actually, RPG contributors. Yeah, they're as contributors, or they're as RPG characters. So let's go to the source for RPG contributors. All right. Throw that in. We're going to make sure we get the names of these things right. Whoa. Why does it say that at the bottom of the page? What the heck is going on? What is going on there? I don't know what's going on there with that extension, but all right, I'll copy this other stuff. There we go. Make sure I got that copied in there. All right, so we've got GitHub RPG contributors. Oops. To put the .js on there, .js. Now, because RPG characters in use, and we're sort of reverse engineering a bit here from what our normal workflow has been. Let's open package JSON. We're going to have to make sure that that's accounted for. Nice little trick, if you do double quotes and then just wait, it will suggest by querying npm for what that value should be as the latest. Make sure you don't take the this version though, the one that's being suggested by CodePilot. I found them to be mixed bag as far as correctness. All right, so RPG contributor, we got the character. This uses DDD and the I18N manager. We're going to drop I18N from this just because I don't know that it actually has that implication. Is there a title? No. Clean up title. To normalize with the other project that this is right next to, and the fact that it's repo and not repository. We're going to take org and repo, and we'll rename them as such. That's org. Okay. And then we're going to go to the demo. Oops, the demo is a little weird in these. I need to modernize these rather. So we're going to do our RPG contributors tag. Okay. And let's pick the one that's right there. All right. And we need to make sure that this is imported as well. And as I mentioned, this is our older tooling before switching to what we use in class. All right. Oh, it's mad about something. Let's see. What you mad about? Status 404. Ah, that's not where it's located. Huh? That's why we can't trust. Can't trust AI to be right. There we go. Okay. Nice. So we've got that built in there. It looks a little different because there's this snippet thing and this blocks certain global styling. That's why it ends up looking a little weird there. All right. So speaking of styling, we need to make sure that HAX Lab PDD is in place. I don't believe there's anything else in there, but let's check I18N, but we were taking that out. All right. And we still have the super class in there. We've got our RPG character pulled in. Contributors, sweet. All right. Contributors is an array. We've got a limit, which is numeric. We've got some DDD spacing and the like. I'm actually going to move this guy out of the index so that we can, or sorry, out of this demo snippet thing. This is another thing that we've deprecated in our project over time. There we go. It's a little bit better. Let's see, any errors anywhere? No. Oh, DDD, hello, where are you? So Simple Colors is in here, but DDD is not in here at the moment. All right, let's see what we can do about that. It's called here. It's super. It's in the styles. Oh, I think I know why that is. Okay. This is a newer thing. DDD Design System Manager. I believe you have to tell the design system that it's in use, right? Design System Manager. No, it should be done there. It's kind of strange. The Design System Manager helps the styles load in the whole document. So that's curious. Is Safari is in there with the properties? This is getting called. Let's do some digging. Okay, that's there. Head of the document. The fonts are there for DDD. Look, let's go with computed. What do we got here? RGB. Fault link is not defined. That is quite surprising. Let's see. What's the Design System Manager dot instance dot active? I think active claims to be DDD. if I set it to null? Huh. Nope. That is quite interesting. It's all styles, yeah. It should be all of them. And design system, feature detection. I don't think I need that in here, but we'll give it a shot on that. Let's see if these things help. Weird. Alright, well, we're just going to keep building the thing. Going to keep building the thing, and we'll figure that part out a little bit later, I guess. So, alright, we've got good use of spacing, font size, all that fun stuff. We are going to fetch contributors whenever org or repo is updated. So I'd say if this or this are updated, it's not generally the way I write this, but and this.org and this.repo. And what this is going to do is ensure that a fetch doesn't go out the door when these are not set to anything, because that doesn't make any sense to do. So fetch contributors, we are going to get this API hit, pass that in, okay. Then it's going to try to fetch the URL, turn it into JSON, set contributors to nothing, then set it to data. Personally, I like doing that this way, not a huge deal, but okay. Where is this guy lining up? Oh, that's on the then. Got it, okay. That's just confusing. There we go. Okay, if there's an error there, catch it. All right, so ideally we would translate this, but unfortunately, that is for another day at the moment. Okay, so with the contributor name, login, we're not doing a breaking space because that doesn't actually work out that well. So let's do .content. We'll do .content A, and that's going to be display block. All right, and that gets us the same effect because that's display block with the next thing. I don't want it to be that text decoration is on. I want it to be on colon host hover. You see it like actually applies it, but it's kind of funny. It should be anywhere within the RPG character, I'll be totally honest. So let's do, yeah, like I want you to be able to link the whole person there. Let's get rid of that. Wrap that in a div. In a div, which is in a div, and that's in a div, sick div. Okay, we're going to take that, so we're going to go over there, and then we're going to close that A. All right, and now we're going to do our content block. And it's going to be the divs within there. There we go, and now we can hover the whole thing. Already liking that more. And let's say on the contributor padding, and let's leave a fallback value for these guys. Okay. PX, duh. I need units there, man. Okay. I don't like that. Spacing, there we go, that looks a little better. And I'll do that as base 4, which means this would be 1, this would be 2. In order to match on the design system. Sweet. Let's say that text align center, which you can now do because the other thing is centered. Let's also do, is there a weight? Is there a text weight? No. Font. Got the font size. Let's do, it's an H3 and a span. I don't want, so, yeah, that's not terrible actually for that to be up there. I don't mind. I don't mind that saying, okay. It just, H3s are not consistent in their sizing. But that's okay. Alright, so contributor, now this is commits. Yeah, so the commits are 280, yeah. Alright, and that's my name. Click, and it goes there, yay. Alright, so let's see if it's stateful, just to make sure. And we don't have any console logs for this thing. So let's change this to the organization HAX Web, and this is create. Yay, there's only 3 people that can contribute to that. Let's do mzlen, and let's do mzlen. Hey, we got a whole bunch more, and let's set limit equals 100. Yeah, because we had a whole bunch more people contribute to that over the years. There we go. Cool. All right, I'm a big fan. Probably, let's see, limit is defaulted to 10. Let's make that 50. 10 is pretty basic. Also, there should be a setting for limit to be 0. If index is, yeah, so we're going to have to set this. So if index is less than limit, or is dot limit equals 0. Let's evaluate correctly. That's a pretty common convention, to be perfectly honest, to say limit is 0, implying there is no limit. So let's reflect that as well, just so that we can see it. So, all right, so we can see. Let's get back to this guy. Inspect. Web components HAX Web, we get a lot more people. Limit is 50, but let's see what, if we say limit is 5, all right, and then if we say limit is 0, there we go. So now it's showing everybody regardless. Now, if it was at 50, yeah, it should be the same, right? Let's see what happens when we make like -6. So that would be that it's broken. Should not be setting a limit that is -6. All right, cool. So let's say default. Yeah, it's like 50 is totally fine. So okay. So now this tag has been cleaned up. It will supposedly work with DDD, even though it's not in my present demo state, which is a little weird. But all right, so go in there and do git stats and git add a git commit m, and we are going to say that this is, where did that issue go? Me issue GitHub, where are you, project 0. Gotta spell it the cool way. GitHub contributor. Okay, cool. And we're going to say that is for that issue, which will help link it to it. You can also do author to attempt to credit people for the commit. Now we'll see if that actually build up on. There it is. Lost it in my history, so we'll see. Does not have a email address listed here, so they don't always go through, unfortunately, when you do this, but we'll try it anyway. At github.com. All right. So that's a way of attempting to credit someone that they did the commit. Now, you know, I cleaned it up. There's a lot of work in class as well, but it's still, all right, generally that. So, okay, so this now relates to this commit, and this commit says that it was issued or authored by both of us. Pretty cool. So this will give us the ability to do contributors, get them to show up on different properties that we have. Ideally, this will get published in, I don't know, a month or so. And by published, I mean it'll be available in NPM. Once it's available in NPM, then we can pull it back down into other projects like HAX.page.edu or parts of the documentation. So this is kind of expressing how this pipeline works. We generate issues. We have needs in our community. We put those needs out there, document them. I try to give as much detail as possible for projects in class, come up with a rubric, and then we work through those issues, which are real world issues. Now, you know, at the end of the day, this is going to put this neat little thing on the website, but if it empowers someone to learn how to do modern web development and work within this ecosystem, then they've met the objectives of class and learning, but they've also contributed to something in the process. This is pretty cool. If you want to learn more about this and other efforts in the space, as I go through and I say, hey, this was assigned and this project now exists, you can go to our mono repo, which is full of web components. Let's go find that source. Get there, preview, and lib, and RPG contributors. Make sure to link to the thing in question. Or you can go to hax.psu.edu or haxtheweb.org for our community site, or hax.cloud to get a live working demo so that you can check out the ecosystem that all of this is happening within. One brick at a time.